Have you had an outboard powered day boat or perhaps a 30-foot something sports cruiser? And are you looking for a bit of a house on the water? Well, if you are, keep watching. This is the Schaefer 450 from Brazil. And see that right there? That is Brazil. So welcome. We're going to show you right through this boat. This has two spacious cabins, two proper heads or toilets for some of you. Woo! And some real wind blowing today, so don't mind that. And it's got a crew cabin with its own head and an amazing amount of space. This really does compete with a lot of the English brands that some of you are going to be comparing it to. I've already been driving it in quite challenging conditions, as you can hopefully see, and it really did impress me quite a lot. So I think you should have it on your list if you're thinking about a boat that gives you all that real estate, gives you that option to spend more time out on the water, but is also a neat coastal cruiser. So, I'm Dan Jones, by the way. G'day, good morgen, bon dia. I think that's what they say here. Anyway, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Welcome, you're watching Dan's Boat Life. And I better move this on because the wind's absolutely whipping through here and I don't want to fall in the water. So in here is the crew cabin. So a nice long single bed and an optional toilet in there as well. I'm standing on a very spacious swim platform. This is also tender deployment. So if you look in here, this is where the tender chocks go. These slots here allow air to pass through as you're lowering the tender or if you're in a wavy area, so it doesn't put too much pressure on the platform itself. You can see the telescopic swim ladder is deployed here. You don't necessarily need this. We did already use it once today because I lost my hat. I didn't tighten it too much in the wind and Marley had to go swimming and catch it for me. So, but if you don't use that, you actually just lower the platform in the water and we have a 5-step ladder which deploys on the starboard side, makes life a lot easier for you. So that's the option just there. One thing that is worth checking out is this Barbie. I'm gonna have to cut to some B-roll of that because all the signs are in Portuguese and I don't know which button to press, but there's a Barbie station that pops out from here, makes this whole space super usable. Can you work it out? Oh, look at that. See, Marley's learning his Portuguese a lot quicker than I am. Fantastic. So we've got the drink holder, we got the sink, we got the cutting board, and underneath here, okay, let me just try and do it there. There's the Barbie, okay? So a couple of drink holders on either side. That's a cold water only sink and electrically operated Barbie powered by the genset. Got pop-up cleats on either side out the back here. We've got this kid and doggy door. And then we have shore power in here and a nice shower. Check out the shower head on that one. It's a bit bougie. And that is hot and cold. The hot water cylinder is up in the bow that's feeding from. As you can see, we have the drop down. Yes, don't worry, it does have safety rails. We left them out because we think it looks sexier without them and it's a nice, cool run and jump. And I reckon that's what we'll be doing after this video. So if you're worried about people falling in the drink, don't worry, they've catered for you and you store the safety rails in here so they're right where you need them when you deploy it. It's electrically deployed, so you don't have to do any of that by hand. Once you enter this cockpit area, you are actually very well protected from the sun because the Flybridge is an extended Flybridge on this boat. We have the solid structure coming all the way out to here, and then there's actually a targa, small little wing, I suppose you could describe it as, moving aft. It's a styling effect, but it does give you more shade. So everyone out here in the midday sun is going to be protected. And I believe we've also got an electrically deployable sunshade hidden just up there. You can't actually see it from in here. So you can actually protect anyone working at the Barbie out the back here. Probably not in as much wind as we've got today, but just saying. Now, this is cool. Lots of space here, very, very deep on the port side, more of a standard setup out the back there, you can get a number of people sitting around this marble table here. I think the marble itself, or maybe its corian, is about 5 or 6 inches, and then it's mounted on a fiberglass base, so you're not carrying too much weight here, but it does feel quite bougie, well solid, because we've been bashing through a few waves today, and we did notice it stayed still and didn't move at all. And you'd get a couple of director's chairs on this side, grab handle, mood lighting over and above us, and some speakers as well. So this whole alfresco dining situation, if that's what you're looking to achieve, you've got the option. Remember, we've got all of the same repeated upstairs, which we're going to get to in a sec, and you have the internal stairs. We're not doing any ladders on this one, so it's a lot easier to function when you are thinking about little kids, for example. Next thing I really like is this concertina door. It's come all the way over here. It's completely out of the way, so you can come around, stand at the bar, communicate with everyone, and pay attention to the floor, how it's all one level all the way until we get to the stairs and go down into the accommodation. So it really is a bit of a floating home in this kind of setup, in my opinion. With this bar, we've got the grab rail here, which is going to stop anything sliding off and falling onto the teak, and then you go from the teak into the timber flooring as you make your way into the saloon. And we've got galley on this side, but we have refrigeration on the starboard side. So these fridges, there's actually 2 fridges. Look at the amount of refrigeration we've got. That's pretty good. So you can cater to the whole family for a bit of a long weekend. We've got our control panels, generator operation, and all our switching up behind here. Your air conditioning just there. That's your light switches. This is a neat arrangement for storing glasses, wine bottles, alcohol, that sort of thing. And this is a real leather finish, feels quite nice. And this finish here is all painted. I saw that being done in the factory just yesterday. A decent amount of pantry storage all the way across the top of the galley. See all the Schaefer logoed glassware just there. We've got the 2-burner cooker just here, and these fiddles which will hold things from falling off in rough seas. You've got quite a deep stainless steel sink, and you've got that thing. I know a lot of people like that thing for washing, because we don't have a dishwasher in this one. You have to look at the bigger boats for a dishwasher setup. Don't know what you're going to do there. Probably Glad wrap and cling foil type thing. Decent amount of storage there. Probably do pots and pans. Oh no, that's right, I saw this before. That's nice. And that's lovely. Well done, nice touch. This is where your bin is. And then you got more storage under here, and a couple of drawers here and here. So that's neat. And again, Schaefer logoed cutlery. So that's all quite nice. So we'll make our way down the port side, and then I'll cover the starboard side. There's no storage underneath these seats because we're moving into the accommodation below, but just get a feel for this space. You actually have more seating inside here than you do out there if you are not allowing for director's chairs. You could stow those director's chairs in the crew cabin if you were thinking about that. But look at the amount of table space we have now, and then if we want to reduce that size and then also gain a grab handle in a seaway, that's what you do there, and you've got a couple of drink holders here and here. These footstools, which move around, actually, you probably just use these footstools out on the back. That makes sense because they've got carpet underneath. They're nice and soft on the teak, and they're also the perfect place to store everybody's shoes when you get on board. So that's a nice, clever little touch there. I like that. Again, this seat here is where you would have a nap in the middle of the day. Look at that. This is super comfy. You're well protected, and I've got the air conditioning pumping in here, so I'm quite happy. I've got opening windows here and there. They're a funny mechanism, but they do work because I've been using them today. So if you need to communicate with everyone or anyone outside, that's how you do it. You can wave to your friends. You're just not going to be jumping out of that window. Not that you would. So that's something to factor in. On the starboard side, we've got this lounge. All of this upholstery is done in-house. They really do cater to the whole production of the boat at Schaefer here in Brazil. Again, I saw that all being hand-stitched by the ladies in the factory yesterday. Very nice, a thick amount of foam, very comfortable. And I've got an electric pop-up TV behind me there, more air conditioning just there. I think we focus on the helm now. You've got a couple of steps up. So dual helms, Flybridge, and then here we are at the lower helm, but we have the electrically operated seat. And for those of you who have come from the test drive video and saw me put this all the way forward, because I got short legs, I know some of you are going to want to know how much space for the longer legged guys. So that's how much space you have there. And then look above my head for those of you who are super tall. And I think this actually does, so you can then adjust the backrest there. So if you've got a bigger person with long arms, you're still going to be comfortable. This helm really is designed for sitting down and driving and perhaps eating up the miles, or coming down here when the weather has turned. You've got a drink and a wine bottle holder just here to starboard. You've got all of your systems. I'm not going to read them out because it's in Portuguese, but they will do English for you. Air conditioning, got our electronic throttles just here, VHF, there's your trim tabs just there, fireboy system, that's your electric operation for the motors, so ignition on, off, your diagnostic display there, that's your multifunctional screen there, where our anchor operation is done here, also from the bow and up on the Flybridge. This is the IPS joystick, and then we've got lights and fusion stereo operation just there. This wheel is also adjustable, and we're looking through a one-piece windscreen, so quite good visibility forward, and you feel quite tucked in and protected, and a sun protection as well from this piece of roof just there. So if you were eating up the miles, you know, still enjoying it with the AC, but you're worried about the UV, you have some protection. Nice roof finish. I'm not sure if I pointed that out before. So you go from the fiberglass to the soft touches with the backlighting and the downlighting. So just picture this space of an evening is going to be quite bougie and pleasant with the timber, the soft furnishings, and the other colors that they've combined here. Obviously you can do what you choose. They can, you know, design the interiors that suit you. You don't have to have all these colors, but it's just to get a feel for it. This is another leather soft finish up here, timber, leather wrapped arm grab handle on the way down, and then you go down these 3 stairs into the accommodation. So this is a 2-cabin boat. We'll go straight forward into the VIP and give you a feel for this. So as you can see, it's twin singles at the moment. These will come forward and create a double. So that is an option for couples, but this is just giving the kids cabin a possibility as well. And each of them can have a little drawer here and here. And then have a look out through the windows. That's quite pleasant. And then on either side, you've got 3 of these opening lockers, so you can do t-shirts and shorts and all that sort of stuff, some beach towels, but then your larger storage, look at the finish of the timber, that's quite nice. That's the anchor. You've got the shelves just there, and the hanging is going to be on the other side. Flat screen TV. On this side, we've got 2 shelves instead of the 3 because we've got AC unit just located behind there. And then this door here is into the day head, but also it's your private head. So we've got a nice amount of space. We do have a separate shower because we've got a shower screen just here, but it is in the toilet area, but you've got this lid that goes over the toilet so you can protect the toilet when you're using the shower. And then it's got one of these shower heads here that moves up and down, AC in the cubicle itself, and then storage underneath here and also behind the mirror. So you don't feel like the poor cousin in this one, that's for sure. Now we go into the master, and you just come here to port through this door, and you've got your private toilet immediately in front of you. And so just have a look in there. Again, you've got your own separate shower, and that's the amount of space you've got in there. And then to come into the master, you go down these 2 stairs. The sides are all padded and leather covered, so it provides a bit of sound insulation. And come in and check out this cabin. It's full beam master. I've almost got standing headroom down the sides here. I definitely have standing headroom in the middle, so anyone getting change is going to actually have that much space above my 5'7" height there. So getting change, operating or getting your clothes out and putting your clothes on is not going to be a problem in that part of the cabin. And then on the starboard side, we've got the 6 drawers just there, and then we've got an own little makeup area for the ladies. Let's just see if there's any storage in this one. Yes, there is. So you've got storage in here, got the little makeup thing just there, but it's in front of a TV. I don't understand that. Anyway, I think it's for makeup. Leave a comment below if you know more than me. 4 shelves just there, and then quite a nice amount of space along here to throw your throw cushions when you go to bed of an evening. You've got your 240 charging below, and then some leather covered bedside tables, and a very nice leather finish of the bed head. And I saw these bulkheads in the factory yesterday. I'm talking like that thick. You've got fire insulation, you've got double thickness of the timber, and then sound insulation on the other side. So they really are bulked up quite a lot to give you some protection from any noise coming from the engine bay. Drop down blinds here. This is opening. Same again on the other side. I think that covers everything. The carpet, you can get that in a few options. We've got this finish, and I also saw some regular wooden carpet in the factory yesterday. It's quite nice and soft under your feet. You've got the mood lightings as we go up the stairs just here. I think it's from here we'll probably go and check out the bow, and then we'll make our way up to the Flybridge. So one of the ways forward, you can go either port or starboard. Just make sure if you've got this platform down to use this grab handle here if you're stepping up, and then this one here, because that area, like with any boat with a drop down side, is going to be a little bit of a risk. And then you can pay attention to that drain there. So any water that's making its way down the decks is going to drain out there so it doesn't come into the cockpit and on the teak. Midship's cleat just here, and quite a nice bow lounge, which has been intelligently secured by these straps. I did appreciate these today. We had quite a lot of wind over the decks. We had spray and salt spray coming over as we're bashing through some waves. The last thing you want to be worrying about is losing the cushions when you've got more important things to focus on. So really, really handy, super comfy, soft, thick. These cushions don't protrude too high and block your visibility from the helm, so it's not a problem. You could just leave them in place, cover them up when they're not in use. Pay attention to the stainless steel windscreen wipers, so that's good to see. And let me just show you, that's the escape hatch or natural ventilation into the VIP. There's some storage for fenders. We've also got a deck wash or an anchor wash. That looks like fresh water. Spare anchor, clutch. This is the bow roller just here, and our quick anchor windlass. This is the operation up, down with your foot pedals, but you can also do them from the helm like we did. And then we've got 2 cleats here and here. I just don't see any rope protectors, so just consider the angle of your cleats on your dock, and if it rubs on the fiberglass, do something about it. The railings are pretty good. Yep, that's fine. Drink holder, wine bottle holder just there. Coming down the port side, we can see the navigation lights, and it's from here aft where you want to think about holding on, because you have that risk point again, which is not a problem for most people, but if you weren't holding on there, could be a little risk if you fell out. So that's your passageway through the port side, and then we go straight from here and up these stairs to the Flybridge. Okay, so we've got light operation here, stereo there. These are the switches for putting the drop down side. It's just safety and an operation. Then we've got these courtesy blue lights all the way up. You can hold here and here if the boat's rocking around. I wouldn't put too much pressure on that because it's just held by the latch there, so it's probably not designed for a lot of force. And then, welcome to the Flybridge. This is quite spacious for 45 feet. So again, if you're coming from a sports cruiser or an outboard powered day boat and you want real estate, this is what makes all the difference. You know, if you've got kids to add to the mix now and their mates, it's kind of handy to have multiple zones on a boat. So inside, al fresco, out on the swim platform, up on the bow, up here, there's lots of possibilities for people to move around and use the space. So you can stay in nice places, you can let the storm blow through, and then the sunshine will come at the end of the day and it's still nice, rather than going, bugger this, we've got to go home, we're over it. We don't, you know, we're all stepping on each other. That's what happens on smaller boats. So, got a little ice box here. That's good, that's drained. You can fill that up with ice. That looks like cold water sink as well. And then we have a bin just here. The Flybridge itself is a very lovely place to drive from, having just done it earlier this morning. Your visibility is epic. I can see the anchor from a seated position, but I could also see the anchor from the lower helm. So no specific need to go below to drop the anchor on this particular boat. With the flip up bolster, I've got this much space at the helm. I can still reach the wheel if I spread my legs, and standing up, you know, just look forward and allow everyone to see you. You really do see a lot. Obviously, with these extended flybridges and all this real estate aft, we are lacking on visibility aft. However, because of this size of boat, you can just lean out. So just bring the camera here, Marley, and allow everyone to see. I can actually see the swim platform on the port aft quarter. So, you know, that's one little thing to think about if you are, you know, backing yourself into a dock. So, what do we have here? A repeater of downstairs mostly. We've got a smaller VHF. This is our Volvo Penta display just there. That's our throttle, trim tabs. That's another diagnostics display, Fireboy system, phone charging. That's your stereo. I'm pretty sure buzina means horn. Oh no, I could be wrong. That's the anchor operation. These are lights. I think they're lights as well. Again, it's in Portuguese, so don't yell at me if I get it wrong. That's a drink holder. This is a good place for your mobile phones. VHF just there. Underneath the seat, we've got a little bit of storage. Good place to put the instrument covers, a few extra bits and pieces. And then all of these seats back here actually have quite neat storage underneath them. And see, it's a great place for your life jackets because that's lightweight, so you're not increasing the center of gravity too much by putting too much weight up here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, all of them open up and provide you with that extra storage. And see this table? We're repeating what we saw downstairs. Quite lovely. It's a little bit smaller than the alfresco dining down there, but it's more than enough for many of you. And perhaps you could just take those puffy things that we saw in the saloon and bring them up here as opposed to doing director's chairs. However, if you were going to do director's chairs, you can store them in the crew quarters. There's more than enough space in there for that sort of thing. Surfboards, inflatable toys, and director's chairs, and even those, maybe one of those roll-up foam mats, as long as it's not too big, because the space of the door would only allow a moderately sized one. Now, just behind me here, I've got drink holders. I had some more just there, just show everyone those. I forgot to point that out. Drink holders there, drink holders here. We've got speakers actually behind the seats here, so that's going to send some sound forward. And then we've got VHF, radar, TV, navigation. Your flagpole is just here. But I just want to point out this zipper. This is actually the cover that just goes over the whole Flybridge. So life's a lot easier when you just break it down to one big cover as opposed to multiple individual covers. So factor that in for your startup and your pack down procedure. And we do have a proper bimini that goes over the Flybridge, and we can protect this whole area in shade. I'm not going to be doing that today because these gusts are about 27 knots, probably 30 knots at times. We're getting little bullets coming off the hill, so it doesn't make sense to be putting biminis up in that much wind. So, and I think that's the boat, guys. Come on down and enjoy this space, this extra real estate that you get with a Flybridge. So I think if you're comparing this boat with something like the Princess F45, in my opinion, from what I've learnt today, it's worthy of your consideration. It really is that good. It feels solid through the waves, it's quite comfortable, and we've got so much extra real estate to play with, which I believe for you who's watching is probably going to be quite an important factor. So if you want to see how she performs, it's quite windy out there. We take the boat through quite a few maneuvers today. That's a separate video. Join me, click on the link coming up on the screen right now. Let's go for a drive. You've been watching Dan's Boat Life. I'm Dan Jones. See you on the next one.